Peace. You're now tuned into Soul Share TV. I'm your host, Jamarco. Today we'll be featuring the illustrious singer and songwriter BB. So prepare to tune in. BB.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am so excited to have you on the show. I have been a fan of yours for a while. And
Same.
look, you know what I'm saying? I've been watching you do your thing for a while, and when I started to think about like doing this, I'm like, BB, she gotta be happy. She gotta be happy. And I've been trying to work with you in various ways for a long time, and so I'm finally glad that we can do this here. And then, of course, on the release of your latest EP, congratulations. How does it feel?
Thank you.
Bring out a new project.
It feels so good. It really feels like in real life a release because, like, you know, I've had the music, some of it for up to 5 years. So it really feels like I'm like releasing it. It feels like a big sigh. Yes, it just feels like, oof, okay.
Okay, so we're gonna wait to get into the EP.
Okay.
We're gonna wait to get into the EP. So I want to dial it back and just get into some information about yourself.
Okay.
So I recently learned that you were born in Queens, New York.
I sure was.
What?
Yeah, right. So I was born in Queens, and then me and my mom lived in Brooklyn. Yeah, and that happened, and we did that. Me, my mom, and then my dad also lives in New York. He still lives there. And after 9/11 happened, my mom was not having it at all. She was actually she was in the city when it happened. So that kind of shook her. She was like, nope, we can just go to the middle of America with her mom, my grandma. And so we ended up living here, and I've basically grown up here. I go back and forth, of course, to see my dad and my sisters, other family, but St. Louis is like home. Yeah.
Dirty. We love you though, New York.
Definitely. And I'm coming for you, but that's another topic.
So having those two kind of different perspectives in different places, especially a large city like New York, how do you feel that each one has contributed to not only your personal life, but you as a musician?
Definitely. I feel like while seeing New York and being from there and having family there and roots there, I've seen like how expansive it is and how much there is. Like my mom, she just exposed me to a lot at a young age. She was working at Colgate-Palmolive, the toothpaste company. So she was doing all kind of stuff, and I was like her little baby date. So she would take me around to operas and fashion shows and just all kind of events. So I've always seen big and have been able to dream big. But being in St. Louis got me good because there, at least when I was coming up, that's changing now. But when I was like, 7, 10, 12, a teenager and all that, there weren't as many opportunities for musicians and stuff here. So if you were going to get something, you had to be like super, 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 super on it. And St. Louis got me to be super, super, super on it. So I feel like I was cultivated in St. Louis with like a New York heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you grew up learning classical piano.
Mm-hmm.
Like contemporary music. You got quite an extensive background in development. You were part of Central Performing and Visual Arts here.
Yeah, my high school.
Got into
Class of
music.
14. Woo-woo.
Class of 14?
Yes.
All right, let's get it. Let's
Yes.
get it. I know you expanded into musical theater there.
Yes, yeah, I did.
You attend you attended Webster University as part of their jazz vocal program, which we are in right now. It's your home here.
Yeah.
We're all. So let me backtrack here. So I know you mentioned a Debbie Lennon.
Yeah.
And you stated that she was the person who really got you to come in here
To
to
Webster.
Webster University.
Yes.
What was that experience like?
I remember when I was doing my college visits, I actually applied to different schools. I applied Webster, I applied for a school in Chicago, and I wanted to go for musical theater. So I actually went back and forth and did auditions, and I auditioned here for musical theater first, and I didn't get in. So then I was kind of like, woe is me, what am I going to do for college? But then I dug a little deeper and saw that they had a jazz program. And I will never forget the first day I came in this room, the sun was shining, Debbie was in the front, I was here for a visit, and I was like, what the heck am I doing here? Get me out of here. And I came in the room and she had so much energy. Actually, fun fact, Paige Alyssa was in the choir at that time. So she was also a student when I became a student, but when I visited, she was also a student. So I got to see her perform with the jazz choir. Just seeing Debbie's energy, she reminded me a lot of my high school vocal teacher who really put a lot of love and work into us and just she really taught us music. And she cared about us while doing it. So Debbie reminded me of her in a way. And I was like, for this, I might could come. And I did. So yeah.
Okay. So you spoke about Paige Alyssa.
Yeah.
Who's an artist that we are definitely familiar
I'm
with.
a fan.
She's out doing her thing in LA.
Yes.
I believe right now.
Cali
And so
living.
I was just talking with your associate Luke, and we were talking about all the different connections that you guys have. Artists here from Webster, and how you're all out now on the scene.
Yeah.
And you're actually connected to a lot of different, not only artists within the scene, but groups.
Yeah.
You mentioned musical theater. I know you've been part of TLT Productions.
Yes, TLT, that's what I am.
You're part of the Lyrical Therapy Family here in Poetry.
Absolutely.
Could you just shed light on those different groups that you're involved in and how they all contribute to your
Definitely. Well, actually, I was doing TLT Productions when I wasn't doing any other type of performance. When I had first got into college, I had put some music out there, but was really kind of wanting to do some soul searching before I just kept on releasing music and really was putting myself out as an artist. I just didn't feel like I knew myself or was comfortable enough yet. So while I was doing the, soul searching that you do in college or whatever, I was able to still keep improving and sharpening my skills with TLT, performing, acting, and singing. So, because like I said, I wanted to initially go to school for musical theater. So I got to live out all of those dreams, I guess, with TLT. And they kept me working when I was not at first. So, love y'all. God bless. Thank you so much. Yes, and I'm still working with them, and we have some shows still coming up this year, so just be on the lookout for that. I'm still with them. And then with Lyrical Therapy, when I was starting to come out as an artist, so I felt like I was just about ready to, I didn't really know where to start, so I started with Lyrical Therapy, and I went to my first one, and I sang a song that I had never sang anywhere else before, and I was really nervous, and the reaction I got just really built me up, and it made me feel like, well, what if I could do this? So I kept kind of like testing that out and growing that just confidence skill and just kind of putting myself out there at lyrical therapy. And I still go to that too. So, yeah, it's all of it has grown me.
It is always so funny hearing phenomenal artists talk about confidence and like nervousness. Especially seeing you, I guess you putting those musical theater skills to work, seeing you on stage, and I feel like I've been seeing you perform for, if not close to 10 years now.
It's been like 5.
It's been a while, and so every time that this is the first time that I've seen you perform, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? And so, how do you, like, what are the things that you say to yourself to just get into the mode of, all right, I'm about to do this, I need to present my best self? Like, how do you mentally prepare yourself to put your best foot forward?
Yeah.
It seems like all the time.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's, I think, what all artists who care about what they're doing try to do, so it's not like anything really more than that. I just care about my art. And I know, or I've come to know, just with the experience, that all of that nervous energy, everything that makes you want to stop, really never goes away. But instead of using it as a stop, I use it as a pull back and push and go. So I never am really, I don't know, weighed down by my nerves. I kind of let them like use it like to push me, like, all right, let these nerves build up and this is my energy. Like, it's really funny if you see me like perform sometimes, like right before I go on stage, you'll see me like just like happy, like, and that's like just all my energy. I'm bringing it up because I'm getting ready to like pull it out and just give what I have. So yeah.
Okay. So I also want to go back to you referring to when you first started working with TOT and then started to come out as an artist, you had to do a lot of soul searching.
Yeah.
And so I know one of the first times I came across you was with T Beats.
Yeah.
Were you signed to them? Was it a label or what was the situation there?
So that was like a music company, and I was signed. We had a contract to where I would release or record there, be able to record there at a super, super discounted rate. And they would do the mixing, the mastering, the engineering. I would put out so much music a year or every few years, and they would just have me perform at different places. So it wasn't like anything to where I was like blocked off from other opportunities or anything like that. It was just like a locked in, like, just let's be your home studio, and when you were releasing full projects here, we can do that here. And that wasn't a problem for me. None of the structure of what was going on was a problem for me. It was just me, and I wasn't at the time really liking the music I was making, and I was like, well, I can't do this right now if I don't like it. So it was me. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to figure that out, and I asked that because it is definitely, this is the Artist Spotlight series, but it's definitely been, at least from my perspective, a spotlight on you for a while now, and I know with that sometimes it can be a lot of expectations for you and a lot of pressure. With you taking the time to do that soul searching, how important was it for you to take your time and to fast forward to August 8th, 2019, releasing this new EP, and you're doing it in your time, how you want it. The music is how you want it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How important is it? All right, I'm going to take my time with this.
It was the most important because something that was happening when I was on the contracts is I would have to have, music out by a certain time. So I would sometimes be in situations where I had to have so many songs by a date, and it would cause me to just like okay, I just gotta write and not really feel it as much. So with this, like I said, I have songs from like 4 or 5 years ago and songs that I've written throughout the course of last year and this year. So time was a big deal. It was probably the most important thing, and just learning that kind of projects and things that we work on as artists, they have their own pace. I have my pace, God has God's pace, and these things have their own, like they kind of move at their own. So I kind of just had to find a way to like align with that and just kind of follow it along as it pulled me, because I actually wanted this project today to be out on May 11th was the original trap date. So I had to even let go of that frustration, like, oh, it's supposed to be out, or, you know, all of that stuff, just because this is how it happened. And I'm not mad about it at all, because, yeah, it's later in the year, but I have my video out too on the same day, so that's exciting too. So, yeah, the pacing, having the patience is very important. It's the most important.
All right, so this EP.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Is that all
Is that all right? So that is the title track for the EP.
Yeah.
What was your mind process going into this EP? And do you feel like you got your exact vision for how you wanted everything to be?
Well, to answer that question first, no, because we never do, right? Artists, we never feel like, yes. Well, some do. I don't. I never feel like, yes, that's it. Done. Boom. That's, no. I'm always like trying to fix or critique and just get better. It's, I don't know, it's an artist thing. I know you know. But, yeah. I mean, just the biggest thing for me with this EP was being able to pick all of my music, because that's not something I had been able to do previously. So each song, like I was like, I want all of these. Like, these are the ones I want to be on here, not any tracks that I was given or I had to have a certain amount of songs. Like, I literally just put songs on this EP that I really, really liked. So that was exciting for me, because that was the first time I got to do that. And it really meant a lot, because I remember putting out music before, and for my own music, putting on the whole project and listening to a song and then skipping 5 and then going. And it was really like disappointing, because it's like, if it's me, I shouldn't have to feel like that. Ooh, in my feelings, don't do it, girl. So it really means a lot to be proud of everything with this EP and how I was able to put it together.
So you say you were picking the tracks. Did you have any hand in creating the music of it, or did you just partner with just different producers for the project? Different producers for this one.
I do make music in my own songs, but that is actually a really long process.
Okay.
And I wasn't trying to wait that long again to put out some music, because the idea for this EP, which is my first EP as BB, because I used to go by Brianna Elise, that's my first and middle name, and as those initials are BE, I was like, okay, we're gonna double that. Also, I had people suggest that name to me in the past, like years ago, and I was like, no. But then it came back around, like, I think it works now. I think I feel like BE now. I can be her. So no, but yeah. So this idea for this EP came out last year, and last year it was supposed to be like just a quick 4-song introduction, and then, you know, as time grew on, I was like, well, you know what? No, I'm gonna make a full album, and it was gonna be 10 songs, and then so it's like I literally like averaged out at 6. So yeah, like I'm like right in the middle of everything I wanted it to be, and it's with the songs that I love the most. So I'm excited about it.
Good. So we got the EP release.
Yeah.
And then we have the video
Yeah.
for I Want You release today.
Yes, yes.
Shot by Blue Tribe G.
Yes.
I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, but I'm already knowing it's gonna be some. I was trying. I wanted to be the first video. We have to be working.
Yeah, for real.
It's all good.
Definitely.
But your style. I want to talk about your style because it's classic, but it's fresh.
Yeah.
Like from the way your creative direction, your fashion, your sound. Like, what are some of your influences that bring that up?
It's literally like both the old school and pretty much Beyonce, right? So it's like all the Shaka Khan and the soul and Anita Baker, Luther, Stevie, all of the soul music. I listened to that a lot in my house as a child. But then I had Beyonce coming up, and that's my girl, Beehive. So yeah, having seen how truly fierce and truly excellent she was is really what it was for me. It wasn't just like the hype of her just being her, but I feel like she's excellent in her craft, vocally, her performances, her moves, her ideas all together. I feel like, and I aspire to be excellent, so yeah.
Okay. Because I remember when I Want You hit the streets.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yo,
I was really
is this what we're
excited
doing
about
now?
Yeah.
Is this what we're doing? And I got a chance to listen to a few of the records on the EP, and they are hidden. I have to say right now, just off the top, my favorite is Love Me or Leave Me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that means so much because actually that's the song I was the most concerned about because it's a different feel to me. It has like a R&B pop kind of feel, and that's different. But I still wanted to do it because it still felt like me, and I wanted to see if I could push it to that. So I definitely, before I was sure about putting that on there, I asked around. I asked my dad and my sisters. And was like, "Can I do that, y'all?" And they were like, "Yeah, you can do it." So I was like, "Okay." Yeah. So shout out to Blair the Machine. He's an incredible producer, and definitely, I hear singers all the time looking for producers. He is one to hit up. So yeah.
That man's been everywhere.
Yeah.
We have to talk to this man. He also produced KB the Writer's project, who's on your album.
As well.
Keep Moving is another joint.
Thank you.
Yo, he did your thing.
Thank you so much.
Y'all need to stream. Is That Alright? It's on all digital platforms. It's on YouTube. It's on Tidal, Apple Music, all of that. Just look up under BE.BE.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gained your experience as being a performer in various forms, and you recently launched your website, officialbbcreative.com. And so you're now sharing, kind of not your sauce, but just what you can.
How you make sauce.
Yeah, how you make sauce.
Yeah, it's like a little cookbook page.
So how do you feel now after being a student for so long and officially stepping into a teaching role, offering vocal lessons, piano lessons, and artist consultations?
Yeah. Well, I got my feet wet with kind of giving instruction last year, 2018. I worked at, I kind of just filled in a space at Jazz St. Louis, teaching piano, and I really enjoyed it. And people had been telling me that I should kind of reach out and start giving instruction, and I didn't really feel like I was ready. But when the opportunity came up at Jazz St. Louis, I was like, okay, well, I'll try it. And then I liked it. So I was like, okay, well, I can do this now, I guess. And I do now, so.
Well, I definitely feel like you have a lot to offer to anybody who's willing to learn and become better in their craft. even down to how to get more involved with the community. So I did want you to briefly speak about the Freedom Garden and the initiative that you started. I believe it was Davis.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could just talk about that, what inspired that, and the direction that you would like to go with it.
Wow, it's crazy. So it's such a big long story because it has so many pieces. But I guess to make it short, I was taking a class here, one of my Keystone classes, and it was about food. And I was like, okay, I didn't know like if it was gonna be a class like where we got to eat food or where we learned about food. So I was like, it's 50-50, I'm gonna take it. And it turned out to be a class where we were just kind of learning about food. And I didn't think I was gonna be really interested in it, but I was, because just over the past couple of years, I've seen like how much what you put into your body can change it, and just all the effects that it really has on you. So there was that, and from that class, I eventually want to farm, and I want to, grow what I eat and raise chickens. Okay. So I really do. So I was telling her that, I wanted to get into all that, but I also before you get to a farm, I want to maybe have a garden. And I was thinking about doing it, maybe a couple summers from now, or trying to figure out how. She was like, why? We can do it now. I was literally getting my hair done by Say This, and she was telling me about it. She was like, no, you can probably, you don't have to wait. Why wait? And I was like, you're right. Why wait? So I put out I put out a post on Facebook saying that I was kind of looking to kind of get into that, and to my surprise, a lot of people responded with like resources. And one of the gardens that someone told me about, I reached out, and we had been collaborating toward the beginning of the summer on getting the garden together. We kind of had to take a short break because there was some violence around the area, unfortunately. But we hope to get it back up and running again soon, because what we were doing out there was incredible. We were able to like clean up the space, and all types of people, artists and just like community members came out, mowed the lawns. We started clearing just different brush, and started to plant. And so I definitely hope that we can get back out there soon.
I'm pretty sure you all will be definitely get out there soon again. Yeah. The seed has been planted. Because when you do hard work, you grow. And as we see with the release of this new EP, you definitely in the season where the fruits of your spirit are definitely coming to fruition. And once again, where can people find it, and how's it been released?
So you can find it on all the digital streaming platforms. My team, As One Music, that's my fan right now, and they helped me get the video and just the whole EP out. So much love and thank you to them, and as well as TV's kind of helped me with some of the video funding too. So it really does take a village. None of what you see is just of what I have. It's definitely what everyone else has offered to put with me too. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Ms. VB, I thank you so much for coming on our Artist Highlight Series. I've just been tongue-tied all day. But it's all good in the hood. We're not in the hood. We in Webster Groves. Yeah, but it's nice. It's nice. Well, we will see y'all another time. Peace and love.
All right. Just wait and see. hope you want me to, baby. I want you, yeah. I want you, I want you, I want you. Thank you.
What's going on, Jesus? It's already rolling. All right, now.
Wait, I gotta cough.